Hello, everyone. How about that for an anticlimax whenever that music stops? We are here to celebrate Heroes Roar Lion Edition, and I have some of the best authors. I had some amazing ones earlier, and I have some more amazing co authors to chat to you again and to get to know. And wow, this book is powerful. Not only the cover, the interior is as well. So let's get to it. I want to get straight to it and share with you some of these amazing co-authors, and we have no other than the wonderful Glenn Marsden coming to join us. Thank you, Glenn. Come and have a conversation about this, baby. Hey.
I know, exciting stuff. I've been hearing so much stuff about it already, so I'm excited for it to be in the hands of a lot of people.
It's as if we've been rearing these two books together, because your book, Imperfectly Perfect Campaign, that I'm in, has been coming together at the same time. So they've kind of got this connection, both of these anthologies, haven't they?
Yeah, a pure legacy. My legacy and your legacy. And that's what it's about, bringing people together as a collective to bring a legacy out.
Yes, exactly, and have that ripple effect and impact. And leading with the heart, which I know that you do. You are so purpose driven. I think we both have a mutual respect with for each other and the amount of things that we do and achieve in a day. So, can you share with everyone who doesn't know you what you do and a little bit about yourself?
Yes, certainly. Well, I am the founder of the Imperfectly Perfect campaign. So it is an international organization now. And as Karen rightly put there, led by the heart. I unfortunately lost a friend to suicide several years ago. Reached out to a lot of organizations in Australia. If you hear my accent, it's all over because I am a Brit living abroad, 17 years now. And understandably, a lot of advocacy for mental health. They all said no to me. Being a Yorkshire man, I rolled up my sleeves, and I just had this mission placed on my heart to show the reality of what mental health was. There's a lot of resources, a lot of research, but having experienced the depth of despair myself with depression in the past and then losing a friend, it was almost this instantaneous, as we like to say, divine mission placed on us, that resilience. There was nothing I can call it else, because I didn't have resources. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a network. I was in the health and fitness, and within 12 months took it to the world. And Karen came across my path, and we shared a mutual divine guidance. Yeah. So this is just phenomenal, and I can't wait for people to read it. And thank you for obviously allowing us to share our stories in this legacy.
Oh, I just love it. Yeah. Don't worry, be in everyone's hands next week. Don't worry, it's on its way, guys. And that is the thing, is that the taboo around mental health. I've worked in mental health. I went through my own dark time with PTSD and stuff. But it's important that we talk about it, because whenever we connect with people, we're not alone. It may stop someone from taking that step that your friend took, and it's so important to keep these conversations going, to build these communities so that the support is there. And especially for men as well. Women talk, but men don't tend to. So, even though it's a universal problem, it's still important to reach out, isn't it?
And that's what these stories are essentially. I know there's a lot of guys who, through my book and through me telling them about your book as well, they want to pick it up, because sometimes, unfortunately, because we are indoctrinated to the masculine type, we've got to keep it quiet. And I even asked a group of guys, like, who do they speak to? And they said nobody, which is really sad to see how far we've come along. But there's still people with that old mentality. So if they can pick up a book and they can read my story, or they can read your story, or one of the inspirational co-authors in this book, and it just resonates, and they know that they're not alone, and it's not weak to speak, because vulnerability is single-handedly the biggest strength. And I don't want to lose another friend to it, who left a little boy behind, and just wondering that mother had to sit that little boy down and say, Daddy's not coming home again. Just those unmissed opportunities and experiences they got to share over the sake of not speaking out. So that's what these books are. So a big thank you to you for what you do, because to bring it to light is incredible.
Oh, I love it. I show up for story every day, again, and whenever people step forward to share their stories, it's a beautiful thing. We got 38 stories in this baby, and it's so
How heavy is it?
this is nice this one. One of the things just before I let you go, because I know you've got a flight to fly because you don't stop.
Yes.
So, one of the things I want you to share before you go is your faith is something that I just love watching in motion and with you because you have an idea and then, you know, God comes and brings it to you, delivers because you're on the right track. So, can you just talk to that a little bit? Because I think it's really inspiring.
Thank you. Well, I will say I'm not religious. I was never brought up around religion, spirituality. I started the Imperfectly Perfect campaign. I had a lot of people coming to me. I had world-class shamans, whatever you call them. See, I don't know. And people were telling me it was being led. And I said, yeah, I'm bloody working my arse off here. Like, who's leading it? And there was like, if you start tapping in and you start listening and surrendering instead of trying to control things, and doors were opening. And obviously, there's a lot of big names around the world. It's reached a lot of people. And this is from a guy that was unassuming, unqualified. And like, recently it was a sense of, I got this guidance, and the next minute, a serendipitous meeting happened with Karen, who introduced me to somebody else. And then public speaking came up. Then I got another path going forward in another producing role. And it was just, the more and more we can let go, because again, tomorrow's never promised. So I think if we can enjoy that moment, I think that's where my faith has come in. It's just be present, and all the little things. Me and Karen speak every day with my book, her book. And I think if I can say anything, it's just like, we have a life outside of everything, but you just go, what's meant to be is meant to be. Like, if it's meant for me, it can't go past me. And I think that's how I've lived now for a long time through this. And I think it just serves as a reminder that life is short. I lost a friend, so make every moment. And if you can try and tap into something other than what we've been told by a society, you're going to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. The awakening, I just say that with you, the awakening to the potential. And it doesn't have to be, we work hard, whatever, but when we're led, we know what the next step is all the time because we're showing the way. Then
Yeah.
thank you so much for showing up for Heroes Roar. It's an absolute joy, honor to have you in the book. And we have some people commenting here. Michelle, oh, I love Michelle. Michelle is in the
Bless.
book also. She says, Glenn, you're a superhero. She works in mental health down in Victoria. And then we've got Lisa Benson who says, powerful, powerful stuff. There we go. So thank you so much, Glenn. And thank you for showing up tonight and sharing your story. Where can everyone go and check you out?
Yeah, they can check us out at imperfectlyperfectcampaign.org or glenmarsden.com. And before I go, thank you, Karen, because without
Oh,
you, this wouldn't be possible. So, guys, go and click all the links, grab the book, because it's incredible.
thank you, Glenn. Awesome. You take care. Safe travels. Bye.
Bye.
Amazing humans. And yes, we have some men, and we had all women this morning, but Glenn showed up today, and we have other men in the book as well. So amazing, amazing, amazing book. I am going to bring up the one and only Nicole Whitty. Come and join me. Hello.
Hi, Karen. It's such
I
a
just
joy
want
to
to give
be
a bit of
here.
context to everybody watching here. We were having a, backstage before this live chat, and our energies are very high when we're together, and everything went down. It was like everything stopped working. All of the internet went down. Everything. Oh, Nicole, amazing.
We generate such a beautiful ambience together, and with the energy of this book, with all of the talented, inspiring authors, and being a part of co-authoring this with everyone to bring these stories of courage and perseverance is just it's going to be so impactful for everyone that reads it. I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you can just feel the energy coming out in between these covers. Honestly,
Yeah, I can see how much you love the cover.
oh, love it.
The
Yeah,
cover
oh,
looks
baby.
beautiful.
Oh, all right. So let's talk about all things story because you have been writing now. You're in two of my books now. So can you share a little bit about the experience and the call into writing? Because you knew you were going to have to do it at some point. So very intuitive.
Well, I had just finished doing certification studies with Napoleon Hill Institute,
Yeah.
and Karen reached out to me, and I've always been an intuitive medium and healer, and so the words just started pouring out, and it was like it was divinely inspired. connecting with Karen, of course, through Napoleon Hill Institute, and then it was just meant to be to bring this story to everyone. It was a personal story from my childhood, and I felt like it really needed to be shared because there's so much suppression in our childhoods, and we're told so many stories about our families, about ourselves as well. We're told what we are, and my story is about being able to still keep your voice in a family that has a inherited generational suppression quality to it. Not that my whole childhood was traumatic in all senses or anything, but there was definitely that passed down suppression from my parents because they were suppressed. And I really felt like it was important to convey my experience of coming out of that level of suppression where I was brave enough in myself, even as like a 4-year-old, or as I grew older, to speak up for myself and
Yeah,
be able
I
to
can
keep
imagine a feisty little Nicole.
so I feel like a lot of people go through this, and I work with doing the healing I do with people. I work a lot with people with their mindsets and their paradigms and their beliefs that they formed when they were younger, from when they, with their families and their childhoods, and it affects every area of people's lives. Their self love, their belief in themselves, their relationships, their quality of life is affected on every level.
Absolutely. And there's so much to unravel in adulthood whenever you're suppressed as a child. If you have to find yourself, you have to undo things, and a lot of your adulthood is dedicated to that type of work, whereas the living in the servants, yeah, just doesn't happen. Can I ask you one thing to share, because I know that my audience is going to love it? Can you tell us about the Elysian Sanctuary? Can you just say it because I said it wrong?
Thank you. Oh, yeah, the Elysian Sanctuary. The Elysian Sanctuary is a holistic center for peace and well-being that I created because I also went through depression, postnatal depression when I was younger. My son's 26 now, so obviously it's been quite some time. But I found that each of us are looking for a different language, and of being able to relate to people and being able to find the help that we need. And I created the Elysian Sanctuary for people to have a space that's peaceful in the Adelaide Hills, to receive holistic therapies and to be able to receive support with mental health, their emotions, their physical ailments as well. We see a huge range of different people, and even people that do sport, or firemen, or policemen, mums, a huge array of different people.
Relationships as well. I've seen a lot of people credit you with saving their relationships. It's amazing. Do you know Bianca Stawarski, who's in Adelaide? No.
Oh no, I don't think I've met her.
We're going to connect you both, and I can
I
see
think we
you
probably need to
doing
connect now.
events. Yeah, I see you doing a Heroes Row event. Definitely, I think that these are both beautiful souls. So yeah.
But yeah, it's just wonderful to be able to inspire strength in people and be able to show people that they can, instead of being sort of stuck in the loop of what's happened to them, they can write their own story. They can write their new story.
Before you
And
go,
that's what I'm all about. I'm all about showing people how to do that, giving them support to do that. And yeah, we've helped thousands of people now, overseas and all throughout Australia and in Adelaide as well. So it's a privilege to be trusted, and a really beautiful thing to be able to help people sincerely, in a place where they feel completely supported.
beautiful. And one of the things, just before you go, Nicole, I want to share with everyone is that you lead with love. Everything you do is through this beautiful energy of love. And that is why I think the healing that you do for others and the gifting of yourself and all of it that you do, it's all done with love. And I wrote a book one time called The Law of Love. Can you share on what how powerful love is when we harness it and use it in life?
You know, I'm so glad you brought that up because it is a sincerity that's from the heart, but it's a level of authenticity for me. Love is that untouched potential that's in everyone, and it comes through as a truth, as an energy from the heart that really penetrates people. And I feel like that's why, when I've worked with so many different people, why they relate to me and they trust me, and we do get the results we get because that trust that we create through an intimacy, it is a level of, like, various levels of love that gets experienced through truly sincerely caring about people and wanting the best for them. And that's why when I wrote this chapter, I didn't feel like it was about me, even though I was sharing my story. I felt like it was bigger. I felt like it was, to benefit others and to show them that they have a choice. They don't have to, keep on, suffering. We do have a choice. We do have the choice to be able to choose a different path for ourselves. And I feel like that's love as well.
Oh,
Loving yourself.
that is it. These stories are all a piece of everyone who's shown up to share their stories for others to benefit. And that
Yes,
shines through in your
exactly.
collective so much, and it's healing
Yeah.
that inner child as well, because we all have one that needs tending to, that inner child, and it just helps you to go there. So, Nicole, thank you so much. Can you just tell everyone where they can find you?
At the Elysian Sanctuary, I have a Facebook page that you can find me on, Elysian Sanctuary Holistic Centre for Peace and Wellbeing. Everything's that I do is referred by word of mouth. So you can just DM us through there if you'd like to contact us.
I'll
Thank you,
give you some
Karen.
word of mouth sharing there. You've got so many amazing online programs, and you just still, it doesn't matter if you're sitting knee to knee with you or in the program online, you still feel the benefits. So, highly recommend checking it. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Nicole.
darling. Thank you.
Bye. Oh, amazing. Love, love, love these humans in this book. And you are going to meet another amazing one of these humans, the wonderful Miranda Murray. Hey, Miranda.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I am really good. You're not bouncing off the walls because you are just back from doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah, that's right. 2.5 weeks away in Thailand and Hong Kong. So just recalibrating today and working through mountains of washing.
Oh, oh yes, that's lovely. You'll get there, just step by step.
That's right. A little bit at a time. That's all. We're
Yeah.
in no hurry. So that's nice. And it was so worth it. Such a beautiful coming home for us every time our family returns to Thailand and revisits the kids, as you know, who mean so much to us.
Tell us about that, Miranda.
Look, years ago, 10 years ago, 2014, I embarked on a beautiful adventure that changed my life. Having come out of a divorce just before I was turning 40 and set off on a big adventure to Thailand to regain a bit of perspective around life and pay it forward. And my beautiful friend, Carol, who was my bestie from New Zealand, had told me about this charity that is run by a beautiful man and his wife now, called Hands Across the Water, that supports 7 homes for at-risk children in their communities throughout Thailand, and was founded after the 2004 tsunami. So it's nearly 20 years. Next year will be 20 years since the tsunami hit on Boxing Day. And I struggled with my own fertility to become a mum, and this was a way for me to pay it forward and to sponsor a child and to get involved in this charity and beautiful organisation here in Australia. And as part of that, they have an 800-kilometre and 8-day fundraising bike ride that I got some courage around and signed up and took off on this great adventure. And as you know, on that adventure, I met my current husband, my husband of today, Dan, who has just completed the bike ride himself while I've taken our little girl to visit some of the children in 2 of the homes. And it's just been such an enriching journey and chapter, really, to get to this point.
And I'm just connecting dots here, but you mentioned that you had some fertility problems, and now you've got a little girl. So that's
Yes.
Can you share a little bit?
Yeah, sure. And it's a pivotal part of my story in this beautiful anthology of that journey that was 10 years for me, 11 IVFs to create the family that I had hoped for and dreamed about. And really, I wanted to share that story with others because it is such a roller coaster of emotions to go through. And I know I'm not alone. And I think by sharing our stories and dropping the stigma around our fertility challenges these days, that we can help each other, really, because it can be very isolating and very lonely. And the impacts of that fertility journey and the breakdown of my first marriage and setting off on this great adventure and everything in between really impacted all areas of my life and filtered through to areas of feeling less than, I guess, and not capable of certain things and holding myself back from opportunities. And I wanted to share with people that there is an opportunity to have courage through those challenges, and not to always expect to succeed in ways that maybe we perceive are the only ways. To also, be okay to have courage with making mistakes and to forgive ourselves and to others for that matter, and to always lead with kindness.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, you knew what you wanted, which was baby, but it doesn't come how you can't control the journey.
Yeah.
You have to be open to it coming left of center. And it's beautiful and it's a gorgeous story. I remember whenever, because you're part of Ubuntu with the wonderful Tara Trent.
Yes, another amazing anthology.
Yeah, we had some beautiful serendipitous just calls on our own and just writing together, which was just so special, and I will treasure those writing sessions. But we got to know, really the energy of what you do and where you are and how you want to share that with others, because we journey, and where we are there, you can journey to something so beautiful. And now you live in your perfect life on a beautiful little island, don't you? Just
yeah, that's right. That's right. And 10 years ago when I set off on that bike ride, if you told me I'd be here now, and I'd probably not have said you're crazy given what I was embarking on, but I might have said, who knows, maybe that's the path and maybe that's not. And but here we are, we love it here. The lessons I think that have got us here are that we're all flawed as humans. I think if you just, as Glenn so eloquently mentions, that we are perfectly imperfect, and if we can embrace that a little bit more, there's opportunities to course correct if we do make mistakes or if we choose the wrong path, or I don't like to think of it as being wrong. I like to think of it just being an option, and if that option doesn't work out for us, then we can choose again. We've got that within our power, and we just persevere with the way forward for us, and I think stay true to what that means to ourselves. Do it our way, do it in our time. It might not be what somebody else would do, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, we're spending the most time with ourselves, and we've got to be okay with that and aligned to things that we really want in life.
That's an important point. You should put that on a quote.
Yeah.
Yes. Really and truly. So what do you do in the world to help others around that? You say empathetic consulting, that you tell people.
Look, where do I start? I've probably got my hands in too many pies at the moment, but I can't help myself. Empathic Consulting is our family-run business that I founded with my husband, Daniel. We believe that empathy is at the core of building more meaningful connections and relationships that are based on trust and understanding, and really that filters out to all areas, whether that's business, community, or family. Here on the island, I support and empower some beautiful women, running women's circles and community events. and also do some coaching. Fertility coaching is part of what I offer, given my own experience, because I know firsthand what it's like to go through that. Author is now added to my mix, thanks to you, Karen, and the beautiful Dr. Tara Wright-Trent, who, as you said, the synchronicity last year has just led us to being here together. And I'm eternally grateful to both of you beautiful women for being part of this chapter for me.
Thank you so much, Rhonda, for showing up your story and Heroes Roar, and the courage and perseverance chapter that you've shared so that others can benefit. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Now, brace yourself for this beautiful force of nature that I adore. Joanne Kaleli, come and join me. How you going? You're muted. Please unmute. I can't unmute you because you muted yourself.
Oh, hello.
How are you going?
Oh, I'm good. I put a lot of thought into my backdrop.
Oh, yes.
Do you see
I
this?
see it. Yes, the lion. Well done.
We had to have the gold lion.
Yes, that is gorgeous. I have to admit, I love it. So you have been painting all day, Joanne, and then we put you into this today. So can you share a little bit about your story and what you do?
Well, you know, I one thing I've really enjoyed listening to these, because I feel like we've all got an absolute purpose and a connection here, each and every one of us. And I feel like all of us have a really strong message. And I think that if I can help just one person by telling my story, then my journey has been worth it. And I just feel that each and every one of us has a really powerful story, because there's a lot of people who need to know that they can do. Like, people, they get so stuck in thinking that they can't. They think that it's impossible, and they think that you have to be lucky. But no, if you believe in exactly what it is that you want to do, and I teach children and I teach adults, and one thing that astounds me is teaching children, they all know what they want to do. They all know. And then somewhere along the way, we lose ourselves and we forget. And I guess we follow the path that we are told is the sensible path. But I'm now getting, close to my 50s, and I'm throwing away all the things that I thought I had to do, and I'm following what's in here. And that is such a game changer. It's a sliding doors moment. And I look back now in my deepest, darkest moments, and it's kind of like I look at it as a seed. When you're in your deepest, darkest moments, that's when a seed grows. And the greatest thing is the only way is up. But you need to surround yourself with the right people, the right nutrients. You need to feed yourself the right environment in order for you to grow in the most beautiful way. And I feel like each and every one of us has been given gifts, and it's our purpose in life to give them away. And that's just what I'm doing now. So for 25 years, I worked in corporate, Google and Yellow Pages. And one day I just wanted to do what I love. So I did. And what I love is I love to paint, I love to write, I love to teach, and I love to motivate. And once you realize what your gifts are, then there's nothing that can stop you. So I want you to all ask yourself this: how big would you dream if you knew that you couldn't fail? So I want to put that thought out there for you guys.
Love it. You're very motivational in how you share that story, Joanne. I think because your journey, you've learned so much, and you want other people to take it on board so that they can benefit from what you've learned on your journey. I think it's beautiful. And being creative all day, every day, how fun is that? Like, are you not connected with your inner child every day? And the 50s, the 50s 50s is for freedom and fabulousness, all of those things. And I can see you harnessing that really well.
Yes, yes. And I want to help
You
other
have
people.
had, yeah, you have had huge courage and perseverance to share your story in this book, because there's been a few times where you've like, should I, and you've done it. You shared it, and I want to say kudos to you, because it has taken a lot of courage for you to share it. But I know that it will really resonate with some people, and you will help them really, adjust. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like life has a lot of sliding doors moments, and all those moments that I thought were the worst in the world, I'm now grateful for them, because otherwise I would have just kept going doing exactly the same thing and expecting a different result. But if you don't make changes, nothing's going to change. And sometimes I think the angels step in and make changes for you, and then you have to change it up. And I think that's what our stories are all about.
Sometimes you're not going to get away with ignoring the messages. They'll come back around, so you gotta just listen. Ron, where can people find you and all of the wonderful things that you do?
Yes, so Instagram, Joanne_Collaley_art, or my website, www.joannecollaley.com.au, or Facebook. So yes, keep in contact. I'm always up to something, aren't I, Karen?
You are, you're like the Energizer Bunny. I love it. Love it. Thank you so much for showing up for Heroes Roar, and for going on the adventure that you have, and honoring your story and your calling. So thank you, Joanne, for showing the way for many. And thank you.
Oh, and thank you for this amazing opportunity to be able to help people in any way that I can.
Amazing. Bye, Joanne. See you later. Take care. Oh, see all of the amazing humans, and we have two more people to come and share their stories. And I'm not going to waste any more moments. I'm going to bring up the amazing Kate Fisher, so you can hear all about what she is doing in the world, and all the excitement that we are doing behind the scenes. I see it behind you.
It's right here.
Oh, I
I
love
get to
it.
hold this one up too.
I haven't even got one yet. I'm like, I can't wait to get mine. I love it.
That's what happens when your first print run sells out, Karen.
Yes, they are hot property at the moment. You wouldn't see the amount of emails I have about this book is unbelievable, which is wonderful.
Look,
It's wonderful.
it's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. And the reason being is milkshakes from Marley. So anyone who doesn't know or hasn't heard about it, can you share why this book and project is so important?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Kate Fisher. I am the founder of Milkshakes for Marley. I am an author, I'm a podcast host, and I am Australia's primary blood donation advocate. So I am on a mission to end persistent critical blood shortages in Australia and now around the world, because this project is very quickly spreading across the world. Essentially, I've created a platform for blood product recipients to tell their stories as a way of thanking blood donors, and in telling their stories, thank their donors and encourage other people to donate blood. And this is really personal for me, because I have a little girl who is Marley, and she has a condition for which she will be dependent on blood products for the rest of her life. So when she's in an acute relapse, it's life-saving for her, and her infusions are life-preserving for every infusion in between. So I have been that parent sitting in a hospital room and being told that they don't think that there is enough blood product available for my child to have the treatment that she needs to stay alive. And that's a really terrifying thing. And I don't ever want other people to have to go through that. And so I've harnessed the power of storytelling, first through the Milkshakes for Marley podcast, which I host and produce. So we've had 3 seasons of that now. And the best of those stories have come together in this incredible book that has just been published as well. So, yeah, storytelling, the magic that creates
the
incredible
awareness.
change.
The awareness that these conversations and what you do, like, I want to be clear enough to give blood, and it just gives, because it's a choice, you can save a life.
Mm,
And we
mm,
all, if we can give blood, then it's important to
mm.
do it, because
It's the ultimate act of humanity. People don't realize, if I am speaking at a large event, I will say to people, look left, look right. Either you or one of the people sitting next to you will be dependent on blood products to survive during their lifetime. And at the moment, 29 out of 30 Australians don't donate blood.
only 1 in 30. Oh, holy moly. Let's raise that bar, guys. Oh,
Let's
my
raise
goodness.
it. And look, Milkshakes for Molly, through telling this story, has done incredible things. We've saved over 5,000 lives in the last few years just for people that have donated to our Milkshakes for Molly Lifeblood team. That's the milkshake. You get a milkshake after you donate blood. So, yeah, I
Dare
just.
fly over to your team to get the milkshake.
So through my
Very special milkshake.
yeah, through my contribution to the book, I really wanted to look at the idea of leading with courage. And I think courage doesn't come in those, big public moments, whether it's award ceremonies or launches like tonight, or, we're all such a culmination of our experiences to get to this point. I think for me, my courage to lead has really come through the moments where I've heard the word no. And it has been through people not understanding the value in my work. It's not to say that my work wasn't valuable, but finding that right place for this messaging to go out and go through. And just creative solutions to social problems. We can create so much change. And it's just a joy to be with so many other like-minded people and on this process. So thanks for having me here.
Oh, my goodness. And the impact that you will have in your lifetime being such an advocate for this, I can't even, I'm lost for words, because I know the ripple effect that you showing up every day has. And if you're not just doing it for your daughter, you're doing it for every mom that that they don't have the experience with you experienced in that moment. I've had my own, hospitalizations with my daughter recently. There's things that you experience that you have to become an advocate for. You cannot keep quiet about it, because you know that it needs to be talked about it, and that takes courage, because you will come up against resistance in some, and
Yeah.
and there are
And
people who can't give blood for medical reasons, and that's okay. But if you can, to do it.
And people just don't realise that there is persistent critical blood shortages in Australia every single day, with different blood types and different blood products, and certainly around the world. And I think, if I see a media headline that says critical blood shortage, I hope my child gets to stay alive. Someone else might just scroll past it. And it's not until it's someone that you love who is dependent on that product. And I know that my daughter's dependent on it, but most of us don't know that themselves or their loved one could be dependent on it tomorrow. So you rely on the kindness of strangers that have donated in the days in the lead up.
Yeah. And what do you say to those strangers that you created a podcast for people to share
And
gratitude?
look, that's the thing. We saw the power in telling Marley's story. When she was at her sickest, people would say, what can we do to help? There's only so many frozen lasagnas you can have dropped at your front door. While that was lovely to feed our family, it was to say, blood products for Marley aren't just preserving her life, but they're so significantly improving her quality of life. Saw the power in telling that story, and so then created the platform to tell all the stories. And it's really just a love letter to everyone who's ever donated blood. And that's the whole concept, is that if you've ever been a blood donor, you can listen to the podcast or read a chapter of the book and wonder if you were the one who saved, prolonged, or preserved the life of the person featured in that chapter.
Absolutely. If you show up and give blood, you are saving lives. Oh, so all right, guys, you're gonna have to get over to PMD Bookstore and grab your copy of Heroes Roar and Milkshakes from Mario. They'll both get printed next week together. They're going to be printing buddies
Together.
I think you're the only one that, you have a story in both. Go over and get one and of each, and then you're really making an impact, because these stories that are in this book, listen to Kate's story. Look at what she has done, because she, and Milkshakes from Morning, her book, her podcast, her advocacy, everything. That's one story out of 30 years in this book. The collective is huge. It's amazing. How many people do you have in your book? Sorry, I don't know that.
I think there's about 17 stories because sort of some of them have sort of been laced through other stories as well. But there's over 70 episodes of the podcast as well. And yeah, it's all designed documentary style. So you never have to listen to the whole thing or even read the whole book. You just pick out the bits that feel relevant and important to you. And it's written in a way that if you listen to one podcast episode or read one chapter of the book, that should be enough to thank you for being a blood donor or to encourage you to make a donation in the future.
And you're using this book for awareness, yes, but also it's very much fueling your charity, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it all goes back into furthering that message of blood donation advocacy. And even if people can't donate, if they, you know, share one of the social media posts, buy a copy of the book, helping me to spread that message is just as important. You know, that might have multiple people that go and book in to do a blood donation. So, yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Here, so I've just popped up a few. But thank you so much, Kia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
for being part of Parish Roar and Full Milkshakes for Marley. So thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks.
Wow, so many amazing stories. So much for my 30 minutes. And we have one amazing human coming to join me here to finish off this live stream, the one and only Justine Martin. Hello.
Hello.
We meet again. Hey, Justine.
We do, Karen. We do. Opposite sides of Australia. So it's nearly 10 o'clock here.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm naughty.
That's okay.
I'm over in Western Australia. We're 3 hours behind Justine. So it's nearly 7 p.m. But you know, we have to talk about Parish Roar and how you roar every single day in your life, and you show up, and you are such an advocate as well, for everything that you do. You recently also done your own anthology, Justine.
I have. I've got it here.
Yes, there we go. Whispers of Resilience. Look, these books are just. I have my copy of that on my bookshelf behind. There's your new bestie, Bianca.
Yes. That's my soul sister. My soul sister, Bianca, who, you know, I met through Oz Mums and obviously, you know, caught up with B in London and then over to the castle with you at the writing retreat. And we chat, I'm not going to say daily because we actually chat quite often 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, and you know, have this very strong friendship. So it's been amazing.
Isn't it beautiful to find soul sisters in your life? You know.
That's amazing. And she's in a different state of Australia as well. So
yeah. Robin Baker says hourly. We talk hourly too.
Yeah, we do. So we've got a group chat, all 3 of us, and we jump on phone calls and that as well. And we're like, take us back to Ireland and the castle and writing and the books and all of it. So, and the community that you've created.
It's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous. The memories, you know, we have woven, tattooed in our mind forever. And it's just gorgeous experience, and I'm so glad that we got to all share it together. It's so special. And we launched this series at the castle, like that was really special. But can I get you to share, like you're a publisher yourself at Morpheus Publishing, Justine.
I am.
So you are so, you know, you're so much about the power story. You're also an artist. Look at the colors around you, are beautiful. You know, you have your own you know, things that you deal with in your life, but you don't let it slow you down. And I think it's so inspiring that you show up every day, whereas you could choose differently. So can you please share with us why you are the Resilience Queen?
Because I choose to get out of bed. I choose not to sit in the corner and rock. I choose to get up every time I'm knocked down. And can I just say, after Kate's presentation, I'm actually a blood product recipient, and I will be to the day that I die. So thank you, Kate, for raising awareness. And when I get off here, I have to do my weekly infusion of other people's antibodies. So that's the blood product that I actually get, which then enables me to go outside in public. So it reduces my chance of when I get an infection, I still get an infection that I still have some antibodies in my blood to fight those infections. I choose.
You had said something here, so I'm just going to try and show it, but it would let me. IVIG, question mark.
Well, no, I'm on SCIG. So IVIG would mean that I started on IVIG before COVID, going to hospital and having an IV put in my arm. But then when COVID happened, they went, no, we don't want you in the hospital. You're going to have to learn how to do it yourself at home.
Got another one.
Yes, SCIG. So I'm on SCIG therapy, and I put 3 needles into my belly or my legs. I circulated around my belly in the war zone that it is, and I've learned to do it myself. And people are like, oh, I couldn't do that if that was me. And my reply always is, yes, you could, and yes, you would, because that to me means that I can go out and I can travel and I can be in public. And you do these things when you are faced with the reality of life or death. You know, what's your choice? Okay, well, you know, I could stay at home and wrap myself in cotton wool and not have a life, or I can do SCIG therapy and I can get in a better mindset by going to a regular counsellor. Yes, Kate, we do. I've sent you a friend request while you were chatting. Have a look on Facey. You know, I make that choice. I look after my mental health, and you know, I get up on stage, I talk to thousands on my story, because my story is someone else's survival guide. And as my chapter says, you know, I was told back in 2011 that I would never be able to work again by a medical professional. But that was his false belief, not mine. He didn't know me. And I did listen to him for a period of time, for around 18 months, 2 years. And then something in me just changed. And I picked up a paintbrush and I learned how to paint. And it just kind of snowballed a little bit, and it's been gathering speed ever since. And now, well, last year, as you know, I won Geelong Business Leader of the Year, and I'm the first disabled person, let alone woman, to win that. And yeah, it's just been an amazing journey, and I want to help as many people as I possibly can, whether they have disabilities or not. Share my secrets. And I've had to go back to the drawing board, and Bianca's actually helped me with this. Like, I've been writing my book on, people want to know my secrets on what makes me me, but I didn't know. I haven't known. And for 4 years I've been writing this book, and I've started it about 3-4 times, and I had a few breakthroughs at the castle. But then I'm like, I don't know why I've been getting out of bed every day. But with Bianca's help, I've come to the realization of what makes me me. And you know, the chapter in Raw does go into a little bit of it as well, but my book that's coming out this year definitely delves deeper into it all. Yeah, Moxie. And I just want to thank you, Karen, for the opportunity that, you know, you gave me in letting me write this chapter in Raw. It was such a privilege, and to be in such, you know, amazing company in that book. It's just amazing. And, you know, if you haven't bought it yet, get in and get your pre-orders in and get it, because there's some amazing words in that book, some life-changing words in the book.
There is, honestly. And you got to meet a lot of the people at the castle, because we had about 20 people out at the castle, which is amazing. So we had like 50%. Like, that's amazing, because everyone was from all over the world. And it was just phenomenal. But just thank you for showing up every day, Justine, because I know what you do, and you know, you share it all.
It's going to be This year's a bit challenging. I've got to have 4 surgeries in the next few months, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm like, just keep going forward each day. None of us know what tomorrow's going to bring, and that's another thing. I don't want to say that I'm blessed with the MS, because that's not the right word. I'm not blessed because I've had cancer, but because of that, my mindset is different to most other people, to normal people, I'll say, to the average person, because I know how precious time is, and I know what can happen in the blink of an eye. And I suppose I want to say that's an advantage to what other people go through. And my chapter talks about that, and being persistent and having the courage to step up and not being afraid of what might happen, because most of the time the fear is just in your mind and it doesn't happen. And some marvelous and amazing things do. And one quick example was I spent 4 months driving to an art studio, sitting outside it, being too scared, and my anxiety fueling me not being able to walk inside. And if I had never walked inside, I would now not be helping. I run art wellness classes for people with disabilities. My artwork is sold around the world, and that just then snowballed to the 7 businesses. So,
and she has the most colourful house in Melbourne, guys.
In Geelong.
Where is it?
In Geelong.
In Geelong, see?
Yeah.
Justine.
Everyone in Geelong knows. They'll say, "Where do you live?" I'm like, I'm in Barwari Road. Mine's the one with the big giraffe out the front. Oh, yours is a big colourful house. We've always wanted to see what that looks like inside. I'm like, come in and have a look. As you can see the lips and the paintings behind me, and there's bright green walls and everything, and that's the same colour as what's on outside the house and that. So life's too short to be beige, and live in a house that is colourful and makes you happy, and just gives you a hug every time you walk through the house.
It'll definitely wake you up as soon as you open up your eyes in the morning.
Yeah, it does. Especially the hot pink walls in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for showing up for Heroes Roar, but also every day for you and what you do and how you inspire others. Honestly, you are just beautiful in every way. I love that we have our friendship, and that you show up for story every single day. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Karen. I'll see you in when am I coming over? March. I'll see
March,
you in March.
Yes. See you in March in Perth. Justine.
Yeah.
Wow, everyone. Well, what do we do? What do we say? Some amazing people. You just met another handful there. I think we had 7 or 8, and there's 38 in this book. Are you not moved? Are you not touched by the magnificence in this book? I am. So please go and grab your copy, share the story, share with us what story resonated with you the most. Jump in and see what it is that calls you in and helps you find your roar, because I can promise you that everyone in this book has found theirs. So thank you for watching, everyone. And yeah, you will see us again next week. We're going to do some more live interviews next week, and you're going to meet some more of the amazing humans that are Heroes Roar authors. All right, guys, I'm just going to find my video, and there we go. Bye.